What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Bill and Frantz show. I'm Frantz.
I'm Bill.
And we got a hell of a show for y'all today. I mean, hot topics are popping like Orville Redenbacher, baby. So stay tuned. We got you popping. Pop, 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 pop.
Hey, welcome to the Bill and Frantz show. How you doing, Frantz?
Man, I'm good, man. Oh, man, did you see who Mitt Romney picked as his VP?
Was his name Paul Ryan?
Paul Ryan.
Of Wisconsin?
Of Wisconsin.
All right. Well, the Democrats seem to be pretty excited about this.
Hey, they should be. You know what I'm saying?
Why are they excited? Well, I'm going to jump right out. You know how all the parties have all their talking points? The Democrats immediately released the talking point thing. You ready? 12 things you should know about Paul Ryan.
About Paul Ryan. Listen up now.
Ryan embraces the extreme philosophy of Ayn Rand. Now, she wrote Fountainhead and the other one about the railroads, Atlas Shrugged. And her philosophy is objectivism, which is all about individual rights and the power of the individual. And so their basic moral is, be true to thyself. And, as we know, FOP.
Right.
Next one. Ryan wants to raise taxes on the middle class, cut them for millionaires. That's a classic Democratic thing. We'll move on.
Right.
Ryan wants to end Medicare, replace it with a voucher system.
Now, did y'all hear that? A voucher system. Just take that in for a minute. Go ahead, Bill.
All right. Ryan thinks Social Security, he's noted as saying, he called it a Ponzi scheme, which is that thing that we heard about a few years ago with, what's his name?
With that Madoff.
Yeah,
Bernie Madoff.
that's right.
Now, did you hear that? Social Security as a Ponzi scheme. We'll give you information.
So he wants to get rid of it. He thinks it's bogus. Ryan's budget, now this is I'm sure a party line. I'm sure that Republicans will disagree with it.
Ryan's budget will result in a 4.1 million jobs lost in the next 2 years. We're giving you information.
Yeah.
Take it in, listen.
Yeah, I take that one with a grain of salt. That's just a prediction. Ryan supports $40 billion in subsidies for big oil. That's classic. Ryan wants to eliminate Pell Grants for more than 1 million students. So he's obviously opposed to education.
Wow.
Ryan has ownership stakes in companies that benefit from oil subsidies. That's almost the same thing as the previous one.
Pay attention.
There you go, right on. Okay, now this is, I'm sure, from before, since it was only this morning they were joined forces. Back in the day, Ryan declared Romney Care, which, as we know, he said he has led to rationing and benefit cuts. So he doesn't support his own governor's.
His own governor's medical plan. Now, the other day, like 2 days ago, Mitt Romney just embraced Romney Care.
Mm-hmm.
Just embrace it, so pay attention to what we're saying.
He better embrace his own system, right? Now, Ryan also is known for saying that Romney Care is not that dissimilar from Obamacare, which everyone knows, but he's the one of the guys that said it, so let's see what he says about Obamacare now.
Right, right.
He also, Ryan, in an attempt to bash Obama, he accused the generals, the military leaders, of lying about their support for Obama's military budget. In other words, the generals went out and said, we support Obama's budget, and Ryan just says, oh, they're lying.
Hey, there's going to be a very stark difference in this election.
And the last one, number 12, is the one you'd expect from an extreme Republican. He co-sponsored a personhood amendment, which is an anti-abortion measure. So he's anti-choice.
Woo! Paul Ryan seems to be a very extreme guy on the right.
I guess Romney wants to, energize his base.
You see that?
And he knows he doesn't have any Democrats. But in the process, what he's also doing is he's alienating the undecided people in the middle and all the moderates. So go for it. Go Ryan. We're happy. We're happy you chose him.
Listen. You know what? Republicans, do your thing. You chose Ryan. What's his name again?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan as your VP. Do your thing. Y'all are so much full of mess. Good Lord. Hey, we gave a lot of information. I hope y'all were paying attention and understand that this is real. This is happening. Go out and vote, because this is going to be a really crazy election. All right? With that,
all right, we'll see you in a few.
Yeah, we will.
The Bill and Frantz show is not sponsored by Samuel Adams.
I'm sorry. We're back. We're back. And Frantz got some Hollywood talk. What's going on?
I always got the Hollywood talk. Call me Gossip Frantz. You know what I'm saying? I got to get the gossip at the news. What's up? Anyway, in Hollywood, the big question going on right now is, should Brad marry Angelina Jolie? That's the big question.
Well,
should they get married?
What's holding them back?
I don't really know.
I can tell you.
What's holding them back?
Well, I can tell you. You know how Kate and I are not married?
Right.
Well, one of the reasons we're not married,
Okay.
we haven't got married. One of our political reasons is that because, I'm going to speak first generally, but it's because there's many people in this country who are not allowed to get married, and it's a civil rights thing. As you know, the gay marriage is still not national, so we think, well, if we can get married and they can't, is that fair? Why, no. Well, we were saying that before Brad and Angelina, back in the, I think even back in the 90s, they said they weren't getting married for that reason too. But they've since abandoned that stance, and so I don't know what's holding them back now, except maybe they're sick of each other.
Right. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this much. Should they get married with all those kids? I'm just playing with y'all, man. No, if they love each other, yeah, do that. Why not? Get married. If that's what you want to do, right?
That's right.
One other story we're going to hit Hollywood on is Rihanna came out on the Oprah Winfrey Show and talked about her past and her past relationship with Chris Brown. Now, back in 2009, Chris Brown and Rihanna were dating, and some domestic violence stuff went down. And he slapped her around, from what we understand. And there was other stuff that happened, you know, that caused all this stuff to happen. But looking forward into 2012, she seems to have gotten over the relationship, gotten over the abuse, and kind of admitted some stuff to herself about herself and trying to make herself a better person and change. She said that Chris Brown was the love of her life, even though that situation took place, and that he wasn't completely at fault for everything, you know, as you know, the way the media portrayed him. So she forgave him. And so I guess the question right here is, isn't it a good thing to forgive or be able to forgive?
It's good. You set me up. I was just about to say how whenever I'm always very dubious when a woman says, "Oh, you know, well, he slapped me around, but you know, it's my fault too." You know, I never buy that. It's like if someone slaps you around, I think that should be it.
Right.
But now that's not very forgiving. But forgiving in that situation is often an imbalance. So I don't know. You could forgive, but move on.
Right.
That's what I would do. I forgive you, but bye.
I think what she's trying to say is that it just wasn't all his fault. You know, it just wasn't all his fault. And I have to go with that because that's her talking. She's speaking from where she feels. It's just that they were young, and she felt, you know, that she didn't come out and really say too much of what she did, but there was some type of admission. What wasn't all his fault?
Right.
What are you talking about? But we don't get those details.
Right.
But I mean, what do you think, man? I mean, I understand what you said about.
Well, if there's 4 or 5 years have passed and they get back together, maybe he's like, I'm no longer violent, and but if he is, then it's the same problem. If anything happens again, then there you go, and you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have got back together. If he really has turned a new page in his life or what have you, maybe. I'm skeptical, but it's conceivable. You know, I believe in redemption. But I mean, you know, but her saying it wasn't entirely his fault. If she talked smack and then he smacked her, it's not the same thing. Talk is one thing, hitting is another. So if she's like, oh, he hit me because I was, you know, I talked back to him or something, that's still all his fault.
It's still all his fault. But if you did slap him around, kick him and punch him and stuff, and he reacted, then it's still his fault. He shouldn't have reacted the way he reacted. He went extreme. But I definitely believe that men and women should not hit each other. Because when it comes down to it, when it boils down to it, and people are not going to like Frantz for saying this, but when it boils down to it, don't put your hands on somebody because you do not know how they're going to respond.
I think that's good. I like you for saying that.
Well, thank you. I hope y'all do too. With that, we're going to talk to you later. Bill and Frantz Show, thank you for enjoying the show. We love you because we know you love us.
Take care.
Bye-bye.